Hello everybody, it's Angela again. How are you all today? I'm back. I've got another tutorial for you, and today I thought we'll go over some envelopes. Now, lots of people make envelopes, so I don't claim to have created this idea at all, but I thought I'd just give you my take on how I create some of the envelopes that I use in my journals. And I've got a couple of ways that I do that. So I'm going to show you and talk you through a few, and then maybe do one or two with you for today's tutorial. So that's what we're going to do. Now, you would have seen me use this as an ephemera piece in when I was doing the acetate corner tuck that was see-through with the little bits that were like a shaker tuck with PVC acetate. So I used this particular envelope, which is just a scrapbook piece of paper, which is nice to use because it's printed on the inside. And with this, it's just easy. It's just stitching around it. And then what I do is, which I'll show you in one of the ones we'll do here today, is just put some lace, some fabric, and a little bit of a cluster over there. So that's really how I made that one. It's quite quick, quite simple, and there are lots of variations you can do with that. This side is very pretty, so I haven't actually done anything to that, and I use that as it is. So there you can just put things on the inside, and it's just a quick, pretty little envelope. All right, so that's the one. This one here is one that a lot of people make. This is definitely not special to me, but this is using an Edith Holden page, again, that you stitch around. I like to do my little zigzag thing in between just to give it a little bit of a difference. And then what I do is here, which I'll show you, is just layer it up with a few bits of paper or fabric, again a little cluster. And then on the other side, I do what a little bit of layering there. I like some quotes sometimes, and then it's just putting bits and pieces. You can stamp on the stamp, you can do whatever you like. Excuse me. So there we go, that's that over there. Right, and then the last sort of type of envelope I make, and I'm sure this is not unique to me. This is one made from wallpaper. Now, I love my wallpaper, and I've got lots of rolls of it. This is a vintage one. I like this because it had a bit of a French look to it. Again, I've just torn the sides here from the roll, sewn around the various perimeters. I've stuck on one of these Tim Holtz die cuts, and on that side I have just left it as it is because it's really very pretty. So that's also a very quick and easy envelope that you could use. Now you can, let me grab my page, you can just stick these and clip it on with a paper clip there. You can stick it into tucks, you can stick it on the page and use that as a tuck spot, and then put things in there like that and have a closure if you like. There are lots of things you can do with envelopes, or you can put them on the side of the page like that, and then you see it either side. So whatever you do, there are loads of different options. You would have also seen me make the smaller ones. So this is the small envelopes that I showed you. That I do have a tutorial on those. This is just using scraps. Again, another kind of an envelope, but I have covered this, and there is a lovely tutorial that you can follow on how to do these as well. So that's just another kind of envelope that I make. But these are the most popular bigger ones, the wallpaper one, the used pages, or the Edith Holden type one, or the scrapbook pages. And it's also nice to make them with all different sizes like that. You can even tie them with a ribbon and stick that into your journal, or as an extra when you are selling a journal. So, you know, you can do many things with envelopes. But that aside, I'll put that all aside over here. And let's get on to making the first envelope. So the first one I'm going to make is from scrapbook paper. so from paper pads. So here I've just taken a piece of scrapbook paper, and you can make this any size you like. What I have done here, get the ruler out, is this piece of paper is 22.5 centimeters, and if I work that out in inches, that's 2, 4, 6, 8 8¾ inches long, really. And this way it is 6 inches or 15 centimeters, so that's what this one is. Now after the first let's see, almost 4 inches, or 9.5 centimeters, I tend to make a fold there. So let's just grab the bone folder, and you make that nice and flat there. And this is just a guesstimate. Leave a bit of a gap here. You don't want to struggle to get things in when you want to use this in your journal, because obviously it will be stitched down, so you do need to leave a little bit of a gap here. I've only got about 1 centimeter, and then fold the top bit down, and again just use your bone folder to make that nice and flat. Sorry for stretching across here. What I have done in the top corner here is rounded my corners off. So use the corner punch, do it by hand, whatever you choose. That just gives it a nice finish. So if I just lift that up like that, you can see. Okay, now what I would say is, before you do anything, stitch across the top there. Once that's stitched, you're going to have a right battle trying to do that. So I would do that first so that you don't forget, and then go and stitch right around the rest of that envelope. So let's do that quickly. And that. So do this with a contrasting color if you like. I always tend to use like a mustard gold shade. So if I show you what the roll of cotton looks like, it looks like that. That's the color I use. This actual one is Gutermann thread. I like a good cotton quality, and the shade is 2776 if you were wanting to know. I don't know if it's gonna zoom in there. All right, so let's just see. Oops, there we go. 9968. That's the color. All right. So there we go. Right, I'm now going to stitch right round here, and then I'm ready to decorate the rest of the envelope. And then cut that straight off. So I had a little bit of a sort of clumping going on with the stitching, but it doesn't matter because we won't be seeing it. It will be covered. So I'm not going to worry myself about that. So there we have it. We have the envelope stitched right around. You can see I've got a little bit of a zigzag there and there and there. But as I said, you're not going to see that, so it doesn't matter. We are going to put something over that right now. So there we have the first envelope completed as far as construction is concerned. Again, if you want to round off the corners, do that. You don't have to. That's just personal choice. If you want to ink around it, do that too. Right, so there we have our first envelope. And what I want to do is just decorate and show you what I normally do for this. Now this is going to go into a bit of an autumn theme. So I like to, on these ones with the scrapbooking, put a little bit of lace on there. It's quite busy this, so I'm going to use quite a broad lace. I think this one is about 1 inch wide. Yeah, it's 1.5 inches wide. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just lie it towards the end here, so it's going to go into this section really. So I'm going to put that down there. I'm going to mock it all up first before I start I was going to say chopping it things up, but I mean gluing it down really. Where are my thoughts today? It is late. Okay, so we're going to have that like that, and I don't have any fabric trim that I want to use on here. I'm not sure I want to put that on. It's going to make it quite busy. I have another plan for that. But what I did think was, because this is quite busy, I quite like that this is plain. I'm going to put something else on the top here. I'm grabbing some of these sort of silky leaves, and I'm going to try and see how this looks here. I glue that down, and then I put this on the top, like that. And then I thought I'd put a bit of a cluster on here. This is one that I had. This is just layering up a couple of bits and pieces of lace and cheesecloth and all sorts going on underneath this flower. And then I've just put a little flower on and sewn a little button right through. And I'm thinking that actually would look quite cute. If I think about it, that looks quite cute. So I like that. And then I got this little definition, which was on one of the Calico Collage autumn kits, and I thought that would look quite nice over there. So I'm quite liking that. And I think I'm happy with all of that. So I'm going to stick all of that down. Obviously, there are lots of other things you can use. You can use all sorts of buttons. You can do all sorts of things. Make clusters. Use all sorts of bits and pieces. I keep every little scrap. I mean, I will even keep that. And I will make a cluster or something out of that. I am sad. If I grab, what did I do with that little pot earlier? And I thought, oh my goodness, all these scraps and pieces of, I can't see it now. What have I done with it? Oh, it's disappeared. But I have got a little pot of goodies. I don't know what I've done with it, but I've got a pot that I've collected. It's got the tiniest scraps of everything, but you won't believe how often I actually delve into there for things. So yeah, I am a bit sad in that department and keeping every last scrap, but I quite like that, and I'm going to stick that all down. So let's start with the lace. Now you can use double-sided tape if you like. Am I going to do that? Am I? No. But you can use it. I was looking for my thicker one, and I've only got the very thin one, so it's not going to happen. Right, so I am going to just use my 3-in-1, and I'm just putting not too much glue on here, just enough to ensure this is going to stay down. So let's just, if you can see what I'm doing, and I'll hold it up in a minute. I'm just checking I've got it evenly on there. You can see if I lift that up that it's halfway. It starts there, the page ends there, so pretty much halfway between the top, the middle of the top of the page there, halfway, the lace is half off and half on. Sorry, gosh, that was a tongue twister. Okay, so there we go. That looks quite good. And while I'm at it, and the glue is messing about here, I can't stand it when it does this. Let's wipe that off. Okay, so now we're going, and you know, you could even put this onto some other backing paper as well, but I'm not. I'm gonna just stick it down as it is, again with my available glue, which is this today. So there we have it. Let's put that down. Now don't mess. And we will place that just over there, quite like that. Right, so this one, we are going to now take these two, and I was thinking of stitching them together, but I'm not going to. I'm going to, let's see, again, we're going to stitch that one like that. So I'm just going to hold it in place. And I'm going to just stick it as it is. right. Don't want too much glue, and I would like it to stick at this bit. It's a bit it's been bent into shape and it's very springy. Very springy. So we'll just keep pressing that, and then this one I'd like just a little bit to that side, so let's just not too much glue because this is very thin. If you have these leaves, I think they're like silk leaves or something. I got them off I think eBay. Looking for a different journal and I needed the oak type leaves, and then these all came with it, so I thought, right, this is the day to use these. So there we go. Let's just see if I can find that. Oh, I do have it here, look. This is what they were called, artificial maple leaves. That's what I got. Yeah, and they're loads, look. I've used loads in here. There are 100. They're loads in there. They're really handy. I quite like them. Okay, so they've come in handy. Right, so we've got that stuck down at the moment, as you can see. And now we're going to stick that cluster in the middle. Let me see, in the middle. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay, so we are all right. So as I said, we can do clusters another day. I just want to make sure all these layers are where they should be. I don't want it, could use your glue gun if you've got one. I have, it's in the cupboard, not heating up, so that doesn't help, does it? I suppose the glue gun would work really well with this. So we'll just pinch that all together, make sure it's going to stay where we want it. And now we're going to just put some glue on the back here. And seeing as this is lifting up, I'm going to put some underneath here too, because I don't want that to happen. Right, that's a fair amount of glue. So we want to, before I jam it down, let's put it at a little bit of an angle. How do I quite want this? Yeah, that's going to be it. So let's shove that down. We got a bit of there we go, that's all right. Okay, so there we have our first envelope. So if you can see that, I quite like that. That's a nice envelope. And then it's just a case of putting in whatever you want in there. You could glue this on 3 sides, make it a tuck spot, or that way, make it a tuck spot like that, clip it in, put it over your page. As I said, lots of uses for that, so that's great. We're going to leave the other side plain. It's got a lovely sort of, if you can see that, a nice picture of like a butterfly on that side. And yeah, there we go. Yes, it did cross my mind to stick a butterfly on there, but I don't have one small enough, so I'm not going to do that today. So let's put that aside. So there's number 1. Right, number 2. I'm going to take an Edith Holden page. This one's got a lot of writing on it. And this is what you can do with these pages that don't have any of the pictures on. So what I've done here is I have trimmed the edge so that I've got as much of the writing as possible, and I've left the length because that's perfect to fold up. So yet again, I think I've done about 4 inches, just short, and then I've folded it up, leaving another centimetre gap there, and then enough just to fold that over. Now, because you're going to stitch, well, I stitch around, I don't always like it when this page is upside down. So that one's the right way, and that's great. But that one's the wrong way, and that annoys me. So you're not going to be any the wiser, because if you're going to stitch it, I'd chop that off and turn it round. So let's do that. And I do this usually. So I'm going to just grab the craft knife. You can trim it with your scissors. I'm going to cut it off right there. Put the ruler back, right, and then that one's the right way. And now this one will be the right way as well. So what I do is I just take these little pegs and I just keep it in place so that when I stitch it, it's not going to move. So we can just move that one there because I'm going to go. Okay, so what do we need to do first? We need to stitch across there. So let's just do that. So we've done that bit. That was easy enough. Right, so level it up. One at the bottom, one at the side, and now we can go right round. And there we have it. Right, so all done. Just trim off these threads. And there we go. Okay. How's everybody's week going? I hope it was better than my last week. Everything was going wrong last week. My daughter was grounded. She tried to wear me down. But I got through it. And I unscathed. Well, traumatized, you know, stressed, but let's hope that's worked. Right, so there we go. That's nice and there, and that's the right way up. And that's the right way up. And who's the what? No one's the wiser. So there we go. So we've got that all done. And now we want to do a little bit of decorating. So let's start with the front first, so that it's easy to lay flat. And what I thought I'd do is, I had a couple of bits of scraps of paper again. Got some goodies here. I don't know what all I'm going to use. Let's see. Lots and lots and lots of bits. I don't know what we will use and what we won't, but we'll see. So, oh, it's getting late, ladies, and I'm yawning away. I did pull out a few scraps, so I have got some things sorted here. I just don't know how I want them. So if that's orange, we'll make that yellow, and then that orange, and let's just see, does this fit? Oh, almost. So that looks good. We can stick that there. So let's just take off a little bit there. Yeah, so that looks all right. So this one here and there. I will just say that I have done something a little silly, and what you could do is perhaps fold it and then put the goodies on the front first. That way when you stitch around, it sort of secures your pieces of paper to the page. I'm going to cut that off at the end. I'm going to stick that down. That gives me a nice sort of landscape for what I want to do. Now, of course, you can ink any of the corners or edges that you want. So that's all personal preference. Go right to the edge so that, you know, if you've done what I've done, make sure you glue properly now, because we're not going to have the machine going over it again. And don't go over that fold line. Right, so let's line that up nicely. I could, I suppose, go over the stitching again if I wanted to. It's not needed though. This glue is really strong, so I think we'll be okay. Right. Here we go. I'm so excited, everyone. 3 weeks. And then it's a midterm break, thank heavens. And despite what everybody thinks, at my college where I work, we don't get all the holidays automatically. We still get annual leave, so I don't get every single day off, but at least I can have some of the days off, and that'll help. And I can get on with what I want to do. So here's hoping that I get a good few days off and I can get on with my crafting and relax a little bit. And then I was just saying to Gina, not so long ago, I think the last day or so, about summer, not summer, spring's in 5 weeks, so that's good news, isn't it? Right, so we've got this now, and I quite fancy a couple of, pulled out some mushrooms, and I've got some more. I've got some more over here. So, oh, these ones are quite dark. Not a bird. No, I think I quite like these. So let's see if I put those like that. That's cute. And I was looking for a label. We could put that one there. Make sure it's just underneath, I think. We'll sort that out, and I want some kind of a stamp there. I did have one lying around here, but I think that's a bit boring for me. I don't want that. It's the right color, but I had this little picture and I thought that was pretty, and I thought I could put a bit of a edging around it, so I'll show you how I do that. So let's stick these things down now. What I do want to do, gosh, it's a big mess here. Let's just take these out the way, and I don't need that either. Gosh. I need some kind of a good, or I've got a new one of these, so that's good. I want to just ink this up quickly, just so that there's no white on the edges more than anything. This is great for doing that. Just get rid of that little white cut line. It just takes it all away. It just dissolves as I'm doing this. It's amazing. Right, so there we go. That looks good. Let's stick that down first. So we'll do that. And then we'll put those mushrooms on the top. So let's do that. Oh, glue the fingers. In the last video I had piles of paint on me, and this one I have glue all over me. Right, so this is nice with the November, because November is still autumn, so that's good. Right, now I wanted to just again get rid of that white line. And that's cool. And then this one. Ladies, I hope that you've all seen the subscriber challenge. With all of you that I speak to and all the beautiful comments you leave me, don't forget to enter, and don't be afraid to enter the subscriber challenge. I'd love you all to be part of my friendship journal. I really would. It just makes it all real, and I have a little bit of you inside of there. So I really want to get to know you all, and I have got to know some of you, and that's so nice. So if you are still thinking whether you should or you shouldn't, well, you should. And you know, just do your style. It doesn't have to, don't think less of yourself. I'm sure what you create will be absolutely lovely. It will to me, and it'll be so special because you've made it to go in the friendship journal. So please do. I'm going to leave the link in the description below for this video. Please have a look at that challenge. You've just got to take a piece of paper, which is the A4 or the letter size, fold it in half and decorate each side of the paper. That's it. So please do that. You can email me and get my postal address, and I would love for you all to enter that. If you're not sure what it's about, then follow the link and you'll see I'm giving a journal away. One of my hardback journals, a complete 120-page journal, is up for grabs, as well as 2 other gifts. So I thought I should just mention that, because I would love you all to partake. That ends on the 22nd of, or 21st of March, I think that is. So please go and have a look at that video. Right, I want to change, let's stick this down as well, then we know we've done that. Sorry for the little diversion there. Right, so this one's going to go here. Isn't that such a pretty mushroom? And this one is, gosh, I do have a lot of kits. Probably needed a second mortgage if I don't dare want to count how much money I've spent on things for this interest of mine. And I'm not going to feel bad about it either. But yeah, probably loads. Well, everybody's got hobbies. This is mine. Right, let me just grab some paper. I'm not quite sure. I think, do we want it yellow? Do we want it, what kind of a color should we have that? I think this yellow, or maybe this one. Maybe this one. Let's grab some of that there. Sorry, right, I've got some of this. This is Artie Maze's Touch of Autumn kit. I love these patterns. I'm going to use my tear ruler quickly. This is Old Ladies. I know I get a lot of questions about this. This I got in 2006, I think, in a different country, so I don't even know where I got it. But I do know they've got very similar metal tearing rulers on Amazon. If you just put in metal tearing ruler, you will find it. Right, that's the edge. So what I can do now is I can stick this down. I hope this is all in frame. Okay, we can stick that over here. Just gives it a bit of a deckled edge, which looks like a postage stamp. Having said that, I do have a craft pair of scissors that does the same, but I prefer this, so there we have it. Okay, now I'm going to just pull this up carefully, like that, and turn it this way. And I quite like that. There we go. Let's just give this a bit of a trim. And look at that. It looks like a lovely little stamp now, that tiny picture. Okay, and then what I'm going to do quickly is I'm going to stitch around there because it does give it a lovely finish. So I'm going to do that. Sorry for all the stitching today. For those of you who think, oh my goodness, you're most welcome to fast forward. I won't hold it against you. So let's just do this and make that a bit smaller. Right, stretch. So all these little details that do make it extra special. And this is why it takes me forever to make a journal, I suppose. Because I just never know when to stop with all the details. Can't help myself. All right, one more little stitch there. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now all I need to do is give this a little bit of a finishing off with the distress ink, and I'll show you closer up now. How cute is that? Hopefully you can see. Yeah, with the stitching and everything, looking really cute. Yeah. Okay, so that's going to be the stamp, and hopefully it fits. Oh, it does. So that's a relief. So we'll stick that on. Yeah, go to the edges and the middle. Okay, we'll stick that down nicely. Okay, just use the bone folder, make sure it's lying nice and flat. Oh, a little bit too much glue over there, so we'll wipe that off. My fingers are ready. I have great joy pulling off that glue when I'm finished. Okay, so there we have that. So what I thought was we can, and this is going to bump the camera, so I'm so sorry. If I just move this over, I just want to get one of my stamps out of here. So let's see if it's my Paris stamp. So let's see if I can grip it without banging the camera over. Right there it is. So I do have this nice little stamp. Don't know if you can see that. It's like a post office stamp. So if I just reach over here and get my archival ink, I'm going to just make sure that's the right way up. It is. That's what I love about clear stamps. Give that a good press, and I'm going to do it towards the top end of that. And now it looks all authentic. Don't you just love it? Right, so have a look at that now. That's where we are. So we've covered all of that, and as I said, you can go around and stitch, and perhaps I should have done that anyway. So let's just take that all off there, and we can just recut the corner. Okay, so there we go. That's looking gorgeous. Love that. Okay, now I just want to finish off the back. So because there's such a lot of writing here, what I thought was I would take a picture. So here again, there's just a picture. I think this is from Autumn Breeze, Collage, one of those. I'll have a look and see. And I thought that was a great picture, so I just edge that up quickly to get rid of the white, and then I'm going to stick that just over here like that. Well, let's just see where that, yeah, so we want it a little bit more down. Around there, make sure it gets to all the edges. Okay, so we will stick that just over there like that, just so that when the flap's down you will still see the bird, hopefully, because I'm going to put something on there now. Right, now that what I would like to do now is I'd like to use some fabric and some scrap stuff. So let's see, I thought I'd take this and show you what I can do. So I've just torn this. This is fabric. I've made fabric ribbon out of one of my vintage fabrics, and we are going to do a ruffle along the top there like that, but I do want to put a little bit of a thing here. So I thought, let's see, do we want, I think that pinkish one would look well, because there's a little pink hues going in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure off here and cut this off. This is going to go at the bottom like that, and I will take my press stick. I keep saying that, I don't know why. And then I'm just going to take my glue stick and run that along the bottom. I've got it at an angle, so it's only going on the paper. We're going to stitch it, but I like that deckled edge, and so I'm going to just measure there, and I don't want to go too far down because of the bird picture. So I think that's about it. I think that's where I want it. Oh yeah, perfect. Let's just make sure it's straight. Is that straight? I think it's straight. I do think it is. Hopefully it is. let's just make sure this is straight. So if I just line this up here, I'm sorry, this is just my ridiculous. Right, so there we go. That sort of matches with those bits there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to, you can either sew it first, or I think what'll be easiest if I do it this way. I'm going to do a zigzag and do a little bit of a thingy like that, a ruffle. So what we do is we put that onto the zigzag, not too close, and then oops, get over. Let's put that down. Now you've got to sort of make little pleats as you go. So let's do that. Lift the foot when it's going to push the sort of pleat over the wrong way. And then it's just a case of pleating and making sure that you keep it even there. So let's go again. Another two. I'm not fortunate enough to have one of those ruffle making tools for the sewing machine, because this is just a basic model. Right, let's just grip that one there. There we go. Just make sure it's straight. We're nearly there. 1, 2. And near the end now. 1, 2. Just keep sure it's there. And before I get there, I'm just going to cut off the end. It'll make it easier. And then I'm going to do the last one. And take that off. And there we have it. Okay, so look at that. We've got our nice edging, and you can ink that as well. I will probably want to put something on there. Let's just see what I have quickly. So glue out the way. I did have this little cluster which I made with a wooden butterfly that I got from Michelle Ray. Hello Michelle, thank you. So that's cute, but I'm not sure if this is just not too much. No, I think that'll look nice. I think that'll look cute. So that'll go nicely in the nice autumn shades there. Or you could just take a button and stitch a button on there with a little bit of a lace. You can do whatever you like. You can stick a butterfly on there if you like. Not that one. It's always a big decision, these things, for me. Okay, that one's a bit OTT, and that one's a bit red. I'm not a big red fan. That one could work. That one there. That one's quite nice. You could do that. But I think I'm going to stick that on. I think I'm going to do that. It's a bit padded. Or do I want that? What do you think, ladies? Do I want that? Or do I want that? Can you shout louder, please? Because I can't quite hear. Right, I think it's going to be this. So, again, just made a little bit of a cluster. I'll show you how to do clusters one day, or my way. I'm sure everybody's got their own way for doing everything, but as I always tell you, this is just my take on things. Yeah, so let's just, it's very clumpy now. So I'm going to just put it this side, because you've got a picture here. I want to sort of balance off the other side. I'm going to put it at an angle. There we go. So we'll just need to hold that for a minute and turn the sewing machine off. Okay, so there we go. Now you could put a quote here. You could, a quote would look nice over there. And you can ink it, But there we go, we've got that envelope done now. So if we just have a quick look at what we've made today, we've got this one from scrapbook paper. We've got this one that we've just made out of Enid, I nearly said Blyton, Enid Holden, like that. And then we have those other ones that you can make from wallpaper as well. So there we have it. Thank you for sticking by me if you've made it to this point. I do appreciate it. I'm sorry this is quite a long tutorial today, but I hope you've enjoyed it and I hope you've learned something. And to all those ladies who told me they're new to journaling, hello, this was especially for you. All right, so leave me a comment if you would like to. I love reading your comments. Don't forget the subscriber friend journal challenge. And I hope to see you all very soon. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye-bye.